going on, everyone? Welcome back to Sportorium podcast. So today we're going to continue our off-season breakdown for each team, each division. We're going to start out with the AFC South, and let's get right into it. Talk about the Texans first. So currently they have 34 million cap. There's no like moves that they need to make because it's not a good roster. There's not that many good players making a lot of money. So yeah, Eric Murray is a very obvious cut. He played like 100 snaps or just over 100 snaps last year. Jalen Petrie just absolutely stole his job.
And he's like from the Bill O'Brien era, right?
Another guy, Mario Addison, he's just like a rotational D-line edge. He's just solid. You could save 3.2 million. All of these cuts that they can make are not like you need to make. They already have a lot of money.
Yeah.
So like you don't really need to do any of these if you like the player. Eric Murray, I'd say absolutely because he just doesn't have a role. But
I didn't even know Jerry Hughes was like still playing.
Yeah, he's like actually pretty solid too. You could cut him and make 5 mil, but like he's actually pretty good and like a nice veteran presence for they're gonna need some edge help, young edge help. So
Marcus Cannon could definitely go as well. He's turning 34. He had a back injury.
Yeah.
Saves another 5.
So. Yeah, there's some like that one that makes sense, but there's a lot of ones you could kind of get nitpicky with.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah. Another move that is probably gonna happen is a Brandon Cooks trade. They'd save about 10 million.
What are they gonna do with that?
I think they have to just because he wants to get traded.
Yeah, the guy's been begging to leave for like so long.
Yeah. I was surprised he didn't get traded at the deadline, but apparently they're asking too much.
But that works against their cap, or
they end up saving 10 mil.
Oh, they would. Wow.
Yeah. So it makes sense. And then I know the Cowboys are super interested. The Patriots probably they need a wide receiver. They obviously already have a connection there. So
true.
Yeah.
He is getting older though, right? How old is he?
He's probably close to 30, if not at 30.
He's 30 now. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, getting there.
Yeah, he's still good though. So it's not going to take a lot to get him.
No.
Another guy that they could cut, Jalen Reeves-Maybin, just isn't good.
Yeah, I don't know who that guy is.
So. I'm like looking through the roster. I'm like, I don't even know half these guys.
That's a pretty bad roster.
Very bad.
There's a couple like
Kirksey is very good though. No,
they have like a few good players like individually.
Kirksey isn't bad. He just used to be better. He's also getting older-ish.
Like all their young players are pretty good.
Yeah, no, they have some young studs like Christian Harris. Obviously, you got like Damian Pierce, Jalen Petrie, Stingley looked good. So they have like okay pieces.
Collins.
Yeah, Nico Collins looked pretty good too. They have like good pieces, just very few of them, and need to get a much better team.
What do you think happens with the cornerback situation with that team? You got Steven Nelson, you got Desmond King, you got Stingley. Even who's the slot corner? That's King, right?
Yeah, Desmond King. I think that they're kind of interchangeable, but Desmond King is primarily a slot, but he's played on the outside too. But
you really need all three because those three. Steven Nelson's decent. King is good, good, but like you don't really need. You can save like a couple of million right there.
Yeah, if they want to draft one early, then I'd say like absolutely. Or even just like go after a cheaper option or just a better option because they already have a lot of cap. So it's not like they like need to spend big on one, but because they're solid. It's not like they're bad.
Yeah, there's kind of like a full rebuild right now.
Yeah, which they kind of have to be.
And what do they need? They need everything. Oh yeah,
quarterback.
Yeah, there were 3 guys that I want to talk about that I think you could already start photoshopping the Texans jerseys. Okay, so first, Azeez Al-Shaair. He was very good on the Niners, and then you got guys like Fred Warner and Dre Greenlaw that are playing in front of him. But DeMeco Ryans pretty much made that guy. So why would you not want to go play for a team that probably going to give you a decent amount of money because they have so much, and you go play for your old coach? Which is the same reasoning for Jimmy Ward. which, I mean, you don't really need. You could use another safety, and he's versatile too. So maybe you do look on to move from Desmond King or something like that because he can play slot, Jimmy Ward. So yeah, and then one more, Samson Ebukam. Sure. Is it Ebukam? It's either Ebukam or Ebukam. I've heard both ways.
I always said Ebukam.
Yeah. Well, another Niner probably should be a Texan. Pretty solid. It won't cost you too much. Yeah.
Sure. And what do they do with quarterback?
Second overall pick. Got to take your guy.
That's right.
I think they could bring in like a cheap vet, and
Carson Wentz is out there.
I'd rather do like wildcat formation with Dameon Pierce than have Carson Wentz under center at any point.
That is very true.
Yeah, I think they could also bring back like Jordan Akins, probably cheap, like $2 million deal. Solid. They definitely need a difference maker at tight end, but he was pretty good for you last year. So
yeah,
and you could always bring back like Rex Burkhead. He was solid at times. I think they could definitely get a better backup to Dameon Pierce. But
and none of this is ever going to help them because they're what, 2, 3, 4 years away. They're really bad right now.
Yes, but at the same time, that division, all of the divisions that the teams are talking about are in good spots division wise because there's not a lot of like crazy competition. Obviously, the Jags are getting better, but like the Titans, I don't know what's going on with them. The Colts are not in a great spot either. Yeah. So I mean, if you
like, I mean, look at the Jags. Like they kind of like came out of nowhere.
Yeah,
like I mean, one good quarterback like that could like change your team around completely.
Yeah, and I think D'Amico Ryans is a very good coach.
Yeah,
we'll see how he is as a head coach. Obviously, that's pretty different, but they're not in the worst spot possible. Not in a good one.
Yeah, that division's just like pretty weak overall.
Yeah.
I mean, I'd say the Jags are like the top dog now.
Yeah, which is not the
Colts fell off.
Super big top dog. Yeah.
It's Andrew Luck, man. It just
Andrew Luck absolutely
screwed that team forever.
Yeah. Yeah. Team needs everything.
For real, it's disgusting.
Literally, the only thing that is like good are tackles, and you could still maybe upgrade from Titus Howard at right tackle, although he's been solid. But I mean, you got Laramie Tunsil. Other than that,
$35 million a year. Oh my lord,
he's making a lot of money.
Wow, I just saw that.
But yeah, I mean that's a good left tackle. He was one of the only bright spots of that team. Other than a few rookies.
18.5 million next year as his like base salary.
Okay.
Yeah, but I mean, you save 18 mil if you move on from him. I just don't see why you would. With them.
Talking to someone yesterday, about Rodgers. He's making what, 50 something a year?
Like a little over 50, I think 50.1 or 3.
But cap hit wise, it's not that high or something.
Well, because I think you got like up front, like I don't know. It's a weird.
He's making a lot of money either way.
The contracts
a large cap hit.
Are like so confusing because they just could literally like change something and it like frees up like $5 million. Like
yeah,
strange. I don't know how they do it, but whatever it is.
So yeah, we're gonna have a separate video going over like what free agents should go where and like possible signings and stuff. So we're gonna go. I'm just gonna say like a couple guys that they could use if I need to, but mostly just gonna be like team needs and stuff. Yeah, that pretty much sums it up about the Texans. They need some help, but got a lot of money.
All the help.
They need all the help. Yeah. All right, and then jumping into the Colts, this is not a great situation to be in right now, but they have a pretty good roster. They have like good pieces all around, and that's another team that like if they figure a few things out, they could be competing for the division. Sure. The main thing they need to figure out is quarterback, obviously, but
fourth overall pick to like just rock with somebody they draft. Like
they haven't drafted somebody
like veteran quarterbacks for no reason.
Exactly, and I feel like they've noticed that it just isn't working. So I mean, swing and a miss 3 times in a row, you got to learn at one point. No, Phillip Rivers wasn't terrible. Like he got into the playoffs and everything, but that team was so good.
But Phillip Rivers is like, that's what all he does.
Just gets into playoffs. Doesn't do anything. Yeah, and then they lost to the Bills.
And Matt Ryan was terrible this year.
Yep. And cutting him would save $17.2 million. So that is a very easy cut to make.
Well, right now they have 12 million, correct?
I saw 2.6.
Yeah, it's 2.6. That's terrible. Oh my God.
And rookies are gonna be, and they're the 4 pick. If they go up to 1, it's gonna be more. But the rookies are gonna cost 13.5 million.
Mm-hmm.
So they got to factor that in.
Yep.
And that Gilmore has to resign?
No, he's signed for next year. Stephon Gilmore.
Oh, gotcha.
Yeah, he's actually somebody that they could maybe think about trading.
Dude, I would want the Chiefs to get him.
Yeah, there's a lot of teams that, I mean, Stephon Gilmore looked good. There's a lot of teams that would
down this year.
Yeah, everybody thought he was kind of washed, but he was very, very good.
I mean, he's probably not as good as he was like a couple of years ago, but he had a good year.
Yeah, I agree. So I think a team like the Chiefs who could use I mean, the Chiefs corners looked good, but they're all so young. If you get a nice veteran presence that's still good, I mean, what do you gonna have to give up? Like a second, maybe?
I'd honestly rather Gilmore over Ramsey. I feel like it'll be cheaper. And honestly, I like Gilmore a lot.
And honestly, he played a lot better than Ramsey too, for a fraction of the cost. But yeah.
What do you do with DeForest Buckner? He's like a great piece and everything.
He's so good.
He's so good. But if you cut or trade him, you'd save like 20 million, I believe.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, 19.7 mil.
That's a lot.
That is a lot of money. That is definitely a lot of money. There's a lot of restructures they could do, though.
Yeah. I think if they restructured, save them 9 million. So at least got to do that.
There's so many people they're going to have to sign next year.
Oh, yeah. There's so many expiring contracts.
2024, there's so many people that are expiring.
Yeah, Grover Stewart, Kenny Moore, JT, Gilmore if you keep him, Michael Pittman, Julian Blackmon.
Speaking of someone,
Pittman and Taylor are gonna want money. So
Kenny Moore's under contract till when?
2024.
Oh, so next year.
Yeah.
What about cutting or trading Kenny Moore would save $8 million? Doesn't he have to be involved in the trade with Chicago to move up to 1?
That makes a lot of sense.
Right?
It definitely does. They could definitely use another corner. I mean, Jalen Johnson's good, but outside of that, Kyler Gordon stepped up.
Isaiah Rodgers, I don't even know who that is.
Yeah, Isaiah Rodgers is not great.
No.
Ballard also came out today and said that the only way that they move up to 1 is if it's like a can't miss prospect. And from this quarterback class, I don't think there's any can't miss prospects. I mean, Bryce Young is very good, obviously, but there's many concerns about how small he is. Will Levis is just unpolished, and he's 24. So, I mean, if you want a guy to sit, he's already getting older. Stroud is probably the best pocket passer, but there's still, I mean, who is the QB1?
I don't know. Like, I feel like the Bryce Young height thing, like, I don't know.
I think it's more so the weight than it is the height.
Yeah, he is like very small. Like if he takes a hit, like he's like, it's not that he's like short. He's like very tiny. Like Russell Wilson's short, but he's like a little like bulky.
Yeah, even Kyler, he's kind of stocky. He's built. I mean, Kyler's like I think 210. Bryce Young, if he weighs in at 195, that's the best we're gonna get. Yeah.
Yeah, they'll probably bulk him up. Whoever drafts him, though. I mean,
they have to. But he's also, you could see like his body type. You can't. Like he's like Devontae Smith, and no, I'm not going to say they have the same body type, but
was able to bulk up, and his body type is like kind of weird.
Yeah, that is true.
I feel like the NFL like has like so much like supplements and stuff that they could give you that like just
steroids.
Yeah.
But another guy you guys did not name though with quarterbacks, and I heard today on a podcast about him possibly going 1. Anthony Richardson.
Yeah, that's what I've been. That's like the hype right now. It's like all over TikTok.
He is a very tantalizing prospect because he was not good at all. He had like 52% completion percentage, but he was a guy that got better throughout the year, and his tools, he is just a freak. We'll get into him in a later video, but he's
like huge, right?
I think he's 6'4", 230 maybe. Like, he's a big dude. He's extremely athletic. I say that he needs to be in a perfect spot to succeed, but if he succeeds, he could very well be like best quarterback in the league. Like, he just has the tools. Yeah. I think like at the very least, he comes in and he's a top 5 running quarterback. And we see what Justin Fields did. Obviously, he still needs to work on his passing, but I mean,
it's like Hurts too. Like, he kind of fell into a perfect spot.
Exactly. And he got his ground game going, and then I mean the arm came a year later, and that might be the same for Justin Fields. Who knows? But I don't think he is worth the first overall pick. But if you miss, I think I would probably prefer him over Will Levis, because they're both guys that you need to be in a good spot. They need to probably sit, hopefully at least. They need to develop and everything. And I'd rather the one that's 20, 21 than 24.
Yeah.
Plus the freak athlete. Will Levis is very athletic, but Anthony Richardson is. Yeah, we'll see.
So if you're just going to sit at 4 and get one of these guys.
I mean, if they really have like Bryce Young or Stroud miles above the other one, then go and get him. But I mean, I don't think sitting and waiting and getting who's the best available is a bad thing.
With this quarterback class, I guess not, because it's all a toss-up. You don't know.
Yeah, if there was like next year, how Caleb Williams and Drake May, like studs, like generational guys, then I say, yeah, absolutely, go up to 1, jump the Texans, get your guy. But I just really don't see a can't miss, gonna carry, like we know he's gonna carry our future for 15 years guy.
Yeah,
but who knows? It could still happen.
Yeah.
And it shouldn't cost too much. Maybe next year's first, maybe a second, or if you want, like you said, if Kenny Moore is in the deal, something like that.
He has to be at that point, because you're losing him next year, most likely. So
yeah, we'll see.
Might as well trade him.
Another guy they could cut, Nick Foles. That guy is trash.
That saves what, $2 million?
Yeah, $2 million. Not a lot, but I would eat money just to get him off my team. He is so bad. It's unbelievable how bad he is.
Yep.
God. It was so annoying just watching, because Ellinger looked like kind of good at some points, but Nick Foles came in that one primetime game and it was just atrocious.
I don't talk about the Super Bowl champ like that, bro.
Yeah, they beat the Chiefs. Wave your flag, hang the banner. Good job, Colts. Other guys that they could re-sign, Bobby Okereke and maybe Yannick Ngakoue.
Yannick is very good. He's always been good.
Yeah, but the only thing with that is there aren't too many great edge rushers this free agency, so he's probably going to get a little bit more than what he's worth. So if you don't overpay for that guy, then sure, bring him in, or bring him back at least. Yeah.
What do you think of Ryan Kelly?
That's another one that, like, he's good. He's definitely good, and you prefer to keep him on your team, but they're not in the best spot cap-wise. So to save $7.8 million, I mean, that might be enticing. I could definitely see that happening.
And is he really that great that you can't, like, replace him?
Not really. I think you could probably get... I mean, the way that centers have been recently is you kind of just draft a center prospect and throw him in, and he's good. Like we saw Trey Smith was a second-rounder, instantly was amazing. Tyler Linderbaum for the Ravens last year, very good.
Yep.
I mean, I don't know. It's tough.
Wait, centers?
Yeah.
Wait, Trey Smith's not a center.
Did I say Trey Smith? I meant Creed Humphrey.
And Creed Humphrey. That's why I was like, wait.
Oh, yeah, true.
Yeah, Creed.
Okay.
But yeah. And that's the same with Braden Smith doesn't save you any money by cutting him. You could restructure. It's probably
what happened to the restructure. That's terrible. 19 million.
Yeah.
Save 10.
Yeah, I don't know. I feel like offensive linemen are kind of like in this like day and age, like kind of easy to replace. Like you said, like
mid-level guys, absolutely.
Drafts. Like obviously you would want to keep guys that are like there's a like elite level, but for like I think he gets like 11 million this year. Like I don't know if you would want to do that.
Yeah. I mean, like a Quentin Nelson guy, that's a guy that you build your offensive line
Trent
around.
Williams. Like,
yeah. Those are guys that you obviously don't, but
Quentin Nelson was great and he just like fell off.
Yeah.
He did.
Was not good
really
this year.
Bad fall off.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So let's hope that's a 1 year thing for their case, and he's just not washed now.
pretty much.
Yeah. So in free agency, they could target just interior O-line. Their tackle spots are pretty good.
They need a receiver. They have Pittman. They have Alec Pierce.
Yeah, I think that a slot guy like Jarvis Landry or Jamison Crowder, you can't spend a lot of money to begin with.
Yeah.
So, like a cheaper veteran option generally works out of the slot. I think that could be beneficial because Pittman could work slot or outside. Pierce is mostly like an outside guy.
True.
But yeah, they are. I think Paris Campbell they could probably let walk unless he wants to come back for cheap. But I don't know. He didn't really do too much this year, or ever, for that matter.
Shaquille Leonard.
Yeah, Shaquille.
I know Shaquille.
Cut him just because he changed his name.
I know. It's been so hurt. Like you're just gonna keep holding on to this. I don't know.
It's tough. I mean, how much they'd lose money by.
You got to restructure.
Yeah, you could restructure, save 10 mil.
Yeah, you can't cut though. You're screwed.
Yeah, but he's been so injury prone.
Oh my, terrible.
Very, very bad.
And honestly, what's that guy's name? Zaire Franklin took over for him. Did very good.
He looked pretty good. Some other guys they could look for. I mean, you could try to trade for Garrett Bowles. I've heard that he is on the trade block. Pretty good tackle for the Broncos. Probably wouldn't be too much to get him. Plus, you need the tackle help. You need O-line help to begin with. But so pretty much team needs the O-line. If you want to keep like Ryan Kelly and Braden Smith, obviously those are some pretty good pieces that you'd like to keep. So yeah, O-line help. You could still use some more edge help, but I mean safeties not in a bad spot. You got Julian Blackman, Nick Cross was pretty solid. I like Nick Cross coming out a lot actually. Yeah, you could always upgrade there.
You need corner.
Yeah, you could definitely use a corner. There is not,
especially if you're shipping off Kenny Moore to the Bears.
Yeah, that is true.
So, yeah.
But between Gilmore and Kenny Moore, obviously two very good corners. Not a lot outside of that. I mean, Isaiah Rodgers looked pretty okay at times, but
you can keep him.
Yeah. Main thing though, get your damn quarterback.
Yeah.
About time.
40-year-old.
Yes. Preferably not either a trash can who hasn't been good in years or a 40-year-old trash can that hasn't been good in years. So, yeah.
This is like the year they should go after like a veteran, like a Derek Carr or something.
And this is the year that they're not. This would have been the perfect year to do it, or at least try. I mean, they can, but I don't.
The Jets are getting Carr.
No.
And Aaron Rodgers and Lamar.
All three.
All three, yeah.
We'll get into that eventually. I don't know what I want.
Yes. But yeah.
Derek Carr Lambeau Leap's going to be fire.
Dude, that's going to be so sick. All right, so getting into the Jags, they just recently restructured the deals of Christian Kirk, Brandon Scherff, and Zay Jones. So before that, they had negative 24 million. I've seen conflicting reports. They're either at like -5 or 13 in cap space. I literally just don't know because the numbers are just not right. So yeah. Plus, they are expected to franchise tag Evan Ingram. I think that you'd like to work out a long-term deal, but until that gets done, the tag it is. That's going to be, I believe, $11.4 million for the tag. Well deserved. Had a great year. Finally found his hands, which was the main thing.
It's true.
Yeah. So they're another team. They don't have a lot of cuts, but there's one obvious one, and then there's one who I think you should. Obvious one being Shaquille Griffin.
Yeah, he sucked, and then he got hurt.
Yeah, he played 5 games last year.
Yeah, it's terrible.
He was good on the Seahawks, and he was supposed to be good for you. He was good when he played. Just he wasn't even that good, first of all. But I mean, you already got guys like Tyson Campbell, who is very good, pretty much turned into a lockdown corner this year. Darius Williams, who is thought to be a slot guy, and then you put him on the outside, and he was excelling. So you got other pieces there, and the guy hasn't played. And it's not like it's a star player that hasn't played. And like CMC, let's say, fantastic talent. He was hurt for whatever. Obviously, you're gonna roll with him. It's Shaquille Griffin.
Yeah,
like I know he has 2 hands unlike his brother, but It's
Bro,
nothing.
I was gonna beat you to it. I said I can think of 5 reasons why
I was
he's better than his
thinking-
brother. Damn it.
Damn. Well, too soon. One guy that I think that tough one. Jamal Agnew. Cutting him saves $4.7
he
million.
sucks.
He's really bad on offense, but he's a great return man.
Bro.
He pretty much fumbled your season away. But
yeah.
that's
Yeah, no,
another
he's
tough
actually
one.
he was a good returner this year.
Yeah. And he's
But like
are you really playing 4.7 just for a return man?
yeah, exactly. Like you could find like a returner.
Yeah. They tried to get him
Because
involved on offense, but
Yeah, but it was like I swear it was just like never worked.
nothing really stuck. Like I'm pretty sure he had a couple of receiving touchdowns, but like, okay, I could get a couple of receiving touchdowns if you throw me out there.
Yeah.
So I mean, 4.7 million plus they don't have a lot of cap as it is.
True. I say he's
Looks like
down.
I would say that it's probably a good thing to let him go.
And plus, you're getting Calvin Ridley back. So, well, not back, but you're getting
We
Calvin
don't-
Ridley.
Yes, but he hasn't been reinstated yet, which is weird
He'll be.
because his ban was indefinite. It was not like a 1-year thing. It was indefinite ban. So
I thought it was literally a year.
that's what I thought too. But then he needs to get reinstated, and he is
I thought
still
he did.
technically no. He applied for it or whatever, but they didn't like grant it yet.
Wow.
Because
That's
right now he is technically banned for life from the NFL. So we'll see what happens with that. That'd be wild. I mean, they didn't give up a lot in that trade, but imagine they did that and he just never plays again
Right. Holy
For, like,
crap. For betting.
for like a $40
For your team
bet
to win.
when
Yeah,
he
but
wasn't
you just-
playing.
You could
Yeah.
beat the shit out of someone on the street,
Yeah.
like Kamara
Literally.
did.
Yeah.
Holy crap.
Yeah. Well, very weird showing by
Yeah.
the NFL in that one. But
Yeah, that's for sure.
two guys I want to talk about to maybe resign. Dwayne Smoot. Not going to cost you a lot. And
Who is he?
he's a D lineman.
Okay.
He had a child recently.
Cool.
Don't
Is
know
he
why I
good?
know that.
Yeah,
He's solid. He's solid, but
Okay.
if he's not doesn't cost you a lot, then yeah, why not? Another
Alright.
one is this one's tough. Juwan Taylor, obviously very good player. You
Mhm.
want him back, but can you? I mean, I don't know. Are you going to really pay that much for a right tackle? That
How much is he going to be about?
he's probably going to be like 14 to 15 mil, I would say, which is like
Catch you later.
exactly like he's not. I don't know if he's 15 mil a year good.
That's true.
He's
Yeah,
very
that's
good,
rough.
but it's also you don't have a lot of space already. So I don't know if you can maybe you want to bump Cam Robinson inside or move on from Cam Robinson. Yeah, I don't know if that would even do anything for them. No, you actually can't release Cam Robinson because that would cost you money. But yeah, if you see a future for Juwan Taylor at left tackle, then I'd say yeah. But like that's a lot of money for a right tackle. If I would say in an ideal world you sign him, but it's a decent amount of money.
What about Arden Key?
He's good. I would.
Yeah,
I don't think he's going to get a lot of money, so
No?
I would definitely like to see him back with them.
I think. Yeah.
I'd also like to give a little shout out to CJ Beathard. Just signed a 2-year extension. CJ, you're not watching, but if you are, you're the man. So interior O-line help is definitely a big need for them. Brandon Scherf is good. Obviously, just restructured, so he's going to be there for at least next year. Like you got Tyler Shatley, Ben Barch. Ben Barch, okay? Ben Barch.
Ben Barch.
Ben Barch.
Ben Barch.
Say that name 5 times really fast.
Ben Barch. Ben Barch. Ben Barch. Ben Barch. Ben Barch.
Okay. Well, something's just misfiring then. But yeah, you definitely need an upgrade there.
Mhm.
Also, another thing with Juwan Taylor that I forgot to talk about, Walker Little. They had him playing a decent amount out of Stanford, I believe. Walker Little's pretty good. If you see him as your future right tackle, goodbye, Juwan. You're too much money. But if they think that
Makes
Walker
sense.
Little is best at left tackle, then you bump Cam Robinson inside and still want Juwan Taylor on the right side. I'd say that's probably the best that your O-line could do. Like that would be awesome because then you'd have Scherf and Cam Robinson as your guards. They believe Walker Little is going to be a good left tackle. Walker Little, Juwan Taylor. And their center is Luke Fortner. I mean, he's not making too much. You save $300,000 if you cut him, so he's probably your guy. You could, if you want to upgrade over him, sure.
They have a very good O-line.
Yeah,
Scherf's a beast.
Sure, yeah. So, I mean, you could always upgrade at some spots.
Yeah, but what center?
Center,
probably.
And it's also those tackles are good, but they're not like next level guys.
Yeah,
but they're still very solid.
Yeah, and you know what makes a great O-line is not star play. I mean, the Eagles are a different story. You got Pro Bowlers everywhere, but most of the time you look at these O-lines, it's just like a bunch of just solid guys, and maybe like 2 stars here and there. Chiefs O-line is different because they have talent everywhere, except for the right tackle. Sorry, Andrew Wiley is not good.
Yeah, I mean he did his job. But
yeah, exactly. But when you have 4 other guys that are
you could replace him.
Other things that they could look for. I kind of like the idea of if you move off of Shaquille Griffin, getting like a Byron Murphy, because he's a guy that inside and out, and the same with like Darius Williams. You could kind of flip flop them.
The Ramsey return.
Ramsey could. I mean, that would not be a bad thing for them.
That'd be sick.
That would be pretty cool to see a return there.
Back, yeah,
that won't happen though. I don't think.
I doubt it.
Just got an update actually that this is perfect timing. The Jags will likely release or attempt to trade Shaquille Griffin in the coming days.
Are you serious?
Wow.
Sportorium did it first.
Oh yeah, there it is.
Yeah, good timing. But I don't think anybody's gonna. I don't think anybody's gonna trade for him. No. I'd be very surprised with that for that money. I don't think so.
Yeah, I agree.
And then I mean some cheap edge help. You got Josh Allen, the better one. And
better one for sure.
The one that won a playoff game.
The one that owns the other Josh Allen.
When the Bills and Jags played, my Josh Allen got pooped on by the other Josh Allen.
Yeah, he did.
Like it was so bad.
Fun to watch.
That was the worst game I've ever seen the Bills play, I think.
Yeah, and you know who was there in attendance? Me. It was the worst experience of my life.
Well, that was because that was when the Jags were terrible.
It was one of like the biggest upsets like statistically in a very long time.
Yeah, like the betting line was insane.
Yeah. But I do remember heckling many Jags fans after the game, and they're like, oh, Bill, blah, blah. And I was like, you know what? Enjoy the first overall pick again this year. And they did it. So I'm proud of myself for that. But yeah, Trayvon Walker also on edge. He looked solid. Obviously,
wrong pick, but
definitely the wrong pick, which we thought from the get-go.
Except for them.
But the thing with him is it wasn't going to be his first year that he was going to be the guy. He's a guy that needs to develop a little bit. So he has the tools to become a fantastic edge rusher. Yeah. So if you want to bring in some cheap rotational edge rushers, Arden Key, like you said, Smoot, if you want to re-sign him, sure. But other than that, don't have a lot of money, but they have a good roster. They're in a good boat. They are in the driver's seat for that division.
Yeah, by
far
now.
Yeah, their roster is like really well put together compared to all the other ones. So,
the Texans are crap. The Colts are like a quarterback and like a few pieces away. They're right there, and then the next team is that we're going to get into
the Titans.
But they might be in rebuild.
I don't know. It's very weird. Obviously, they just released like Taylor Lewan, Zach Cunningham, and Robert Woods, which all were just making a lot of money and not doing much. So
yeah,
I wouldn't say
so bad.
He was really bad. There was also just bad quarterback play pretty much the whole year.
Yeah,
I forgot exactly what it was, but Julio Jones and Robert Woods, they gave up like in total maybe a second. I would think it was a second for Julio, and then like a fourth or fifth for Robert Woods. And both of those receivers combined had less than 1,000 yards. Or I don't know if it was less than 1,000 yards or less than what A.J. Brown did on the Eagles. So they're going to regret that one for a very long time.
Yeah.
But yeah, I wouldn't say that based off of those moves that they made that they're in a rebuild, but they very well could be heading in that direction. Absolutely.
One guy that I would probably cut is Bud Dupree.
Yeah, that's who I was thinking too.
Yep. They saved $9.3 million by doing so. And a solid player.
Well, question. I think I saw somewhere post June 1st, they would save 16 million.
Yeah,
That
So-
is true. Okay, wow. Yeah,
that's a lot of money for a player that is just solid and
Yeah.
hurt. So I
Yeah.
would probably do that. You could also move on from Danico Autry, save
Mhm.
7.1. There's not a lot there, really.
no.
Tannehill's getting a lot of money with the.
know, but
That's
what are
the
you gonna
main
do
thing
there?
that they're exactly. This is the main thing for them. Are you going to stick with Ryan Tannehill, or are you going to kind of? I'm not going to say rebuild, because once Derrick Henry is gone, your team is over. So you kind of got to retool. I mean, it could get a little risky. I don't think it's going to happen, but like, move on from Ryan Tannehill, maybe bring in a Darren Rodgers or a Derek Carr for cheaper.
Not Malik Willis season.
Malik Willis is trash.
He's so bad.
I really thought he was going to be good, but
He
he's
still could be. It's
Yeah,
early.
you don't know.
yeah, but
Yeah.
he
I
was
mean, Tannehill.
not
That's
good
just
this year.
he's not worth that at all.
But the thing with that is, I don't know if there's anybody you could really get to upgrade.
Yeah.
Like,
I agree.
if you want to get Jimmy G in the offseason, is that really an upgrade?
No, I would say with Tannehill. He knows the system. He knows
Probably not.
the players and
He's
everything.
only good when he could dump it to superstars. So
Well, also, who was their wide receiver?
Yeah, they just drafted Traylon Burks.
Traylon Burks.
Yeah,
Yeah,
What's
Traylon
that other
Burks was
guy's
okay,
name?
but then he got hurt.
What's
Then
the
he had
dude's name? It's like
Nick
two-
Westbrook Akeen.
Yeah,
Oh,
him.
stud.
Yeah,
He
they need
he was
help.
like wide receiver 1.
Yeah, there were times where he
disgusting.
was. They need it very bad. Kyle Phillips had like one game where he was good, and then he forgot to play football for the rest of the year.
What did Austin Hooper do this year?
That's another guy. Austin Hooper didn't have a bad year. I actually don't think they
He didn't have
saved
a
any
good
money.
year. I don't know what
Nah,
would
he's
happen.
cheap
But
anyways.
you have to cut him either way because that other tight end that they had, he
Oh,
really
Chigakonkwo?
Chicken
Yeah.
Conquo. Yep, that guy.
Yep. Him.
chicken nugget.
Chicken Nugget. He was a rookie, I believe, from Maryland. Athletic freak,
Yeah.
and he
Yeah,
looked
he was
very
like
good.
really good. Yeah,
Yeah.
I would roll with him.
Yeah, I
What
don't
would
think
happen
that
if
they
you-
make any money by getting rid of Austin Hooper. So
Yeah, they don't at
I
all.
don't. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, screw it. Roster spot. Get out of here.
yeah,
Don't
it's
need
true.
But you
yeah.
know what I'd love to see? If they sign Jonnu back,
That would be interesting. That would be
Right.
interesting because
bring him back home where he was actually decent.
yeah, the Patriots have just not utilized him properly at
I
all.
think Derrick Henry's gonna like leave.
Going to the Bills. I'm calling it now.
I mean, there's a lot of rumors that I don't see.
Haskins
I don't.
isn't even bad, honestly.
Yeah, Hassan Haskins is good.
I don't know. If they move on to Henry, I don't think he's like a bad option. Like he was pretty good this season, like in the receiving game especially. He would come down and he would come in on like third down a lot.
Yeah, Dontrell Hilliard was
Yeah.
also really
Oh
good
yeah, he did the
receiving.
same thing. Yeah,
He's more of a receiving guy, though, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
It's
I don't
like
think
weird,
he
though,
had a
'cause
single rushing
I
attempt.
feel like they never even like tried to use Derrick Henry like to receive at all.
They did.
did
I
a-
feel like they
a
did
good
a
amount this
more
season.
this year than
Yeah.
ever, which is like I've never understood that. Where even Nick Chubb, like
Yeah, like
he's this great running back. Why don't you just get him the ball in literally any way you can?
what
Yeah.
player in the NFL can't catch a screen pass? Like I
Yeah.
don't understand what the
And Derrick Henry has hands too. Nick
Yeah.
Chubb does too. Nick Chubb's definitely got hands.
So Derrick Henry has never, since 2016 to 2021, never got over 20 receptions in a season.
wow.
This year he had 33.
I definitely noticed that they definitely tried to involve him more.
Yeah,
in
no,
that.
but I'm saying every third down, he's just not on the field.
Yeah,
Yeah,
exactly. Like
I mean, you got to rest him. He is a whole team.
yeah,
But,
but
yeah,
at the
every third down, he's just
if it's
not
like
on the
third
field.
and goal or something, I don't care how tired you are. Get on the field, and like what?
He
But
gets
why
the
would-
ball every play? I don't know.
But still, even let's say he's not tired, they would still take him off and put like Dontrell
Yeah.
Hilliard or Hassan Haskins in on third down.
But
I just don't see
he's
why you
always
take.
tired because he's nonstop doing everything.
Yeah, he is. He's getting like
His
30
back
carries
is
a game.
killing him because he's literally carrying the Titans.
The
the
Titans
past
would
6
be
years.
terrible without Derrick Henry.
No, you
Yeah.
mean
Really
Tannehill?
bad. Yeah, that dude. When Ryan Tannehill got that extension, I was like, "You're gonna regret that." He's a guy
Yeah.
that is just he lives off of, everybody being scared of Derrick Henry.
Yeah.
He could.
I mean, when he needs to get it done, he sometimes gets it done though.
Yeah,
He's not that
He's
bad
not.
when he
He's
has to
not
air it
bad.
out, but he
Not
doesn't have anyone
terrible.
to throw it to. So
Yeah.
He's a future Colts quarterback, so
Right?
Could be.
That's honestly probably going to be the best out of all the other three that they
yeah.
have.
But yeah, I don't see them moving on from Derrick Henry. I would be not surprised if when his contract is over, he doesn't come back because he'll be 30 at that time. So
I'm not coming back.
yeah. Who knows?
I don't know. I don't think he's staying.
But who knows how good he'll be in like 3 years.
Yeah, he could definitely fall off a cliff like this year.
Yeah.
Yeah, like a workhorse back getting.
People say he's gonna fall off this year.
Yeah.
Ooh, I was one of them. Yep.
All right, getting back into what their team needs are. O-line help. You could re-sign Nate Davis. He was pretty solid in the run game, which is your team. So probably wouldn't cost too much. You'd also maybe go for like a Garrett Bowles or try to go for pretty much any O-line help. They have solid pieces, but obviously just moved on from Taylor Lewan. Everybody was hurt this year on the O-line, so definitely could use
they
some
need
help.
all the receivers, all of them.
Yeah, they could definitely trade for. Obviously you can't get a Brandon Cooks, but
D-Hop.
It could be a team for D-Hop. I wouldn't be too surprised.
I can't wait to see where he goes. You know what I'm hoping? Rodgers and D-Hop partner up, go to the Jets, win a Super Bowl, bang.
With Lamar as his backup, QB3 is Derek Carr. Yeah.
And trade for Derrick Henry.
Yeah, and Derrick Henry. Yes.
Brees Hall, Derrick Henry, 1-2 punch. Derrick Henry is a 2, obviously. So.
And then Lamar could be RB3 as well.
Yeah. Good thinking.
But Titans are not in a terrible spot because they have good pieces. They do. Their defense is still very good. They could also use another cheap corner. Got Caleb Farley, who's very good, but very hurt all the time. Roger McCreary looked pretty good this year. Definitely need some edge help, especially if you're going to move on from Bud Dupree and Denico Autry.
Yeah.
Elijah Molden also looked good at corner at times this year. Safety-wise, obviously Kevin Byard's a stud. Outside of that, you got Amani Hooker.
Yep.
He's all right. And you could probably upgrade from him, but there are more pressing needs than to upgrade at safety.
And we are positive that Taylor Lewan is not dating Jeffree Star, correct?
We are positive.
Yes. We are positive. Okay, just checking. Didn't know.
That was pretty funny. I was confused for a second. It definitely caught me. Then
for sure.
Oh, they're just promoting a podcast. Okay.
Yeah.
And last thing, I think they could definitely use a cheaper linebacker. I don't think that you really go all out for like a Tremaine Edmonds, but maybe a Devin Bush. Nothing too crazy. But they definitely, you move on from Cunningham. Yeah, there's not much else there. Yeah, there's this one linebacker. I forgot his name. David Long. David Long is a free agent. David Long is pretty good. You could probably bring him back. Yeah.
Okay.
That's it. That wraps up the AFC South. A weird division. Not a lot of, competition there right now.
As of right now, with how it stands before the draft, what is the order next year of how they finish?
Okay, so I think Jags are definitely going to win it.
Agreed. James?
Yeah, Jags.
Right. Okay.
I think Texans are going to finish in last just because they needed just a lot of help.
Agreed.
And then I'm going to say Titans are probably in second because they just had a lot of injuries this year, like really bad with injuries.
Yeah.
So hopefully get Tannehill back healthy, some other guys. Maybe Caleb Farley breaks his back again. Hopefully not.
I agree. It just, if the Colts go with a rookie quarterback, then I agree with that. If they go with a veteran, which I doubt they're going to do, I would maybe put them at 2.
They're flip-flop for me. Yeah. Jags, I think are going to win. Texans, I definitely 100%. Think are going to be
I will put all my money on the Jaguars winning.
Yeah, there's just
the Titans could honestly win.
They could.
I don't know. They're missing Luan and all those guys that got cut, and they still don't have receivers. They need a lot of help.
Yeah, but the Titans were always like the year they were the 1 seed. Like
pesky,
they weren't a great team.
No,
they're pesky is a good word.
I mean, they're really good coach team too.
Yeah, it's pretty much just defense and a very good running game.
Yeah,
and a quarterback that can make the throws.
Yeah.
So that concludes the offseason breakdown of the AFC South. Next will be the NFC South, which will be probably tomorrow. So yeah, hope you guys enjoyed. Till next time.